Okay. Hello, judges and audience. I'm very honored to be here and to have the opportunity to give a presentation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to SDGs, everybody here, including myself, are sick of hearing about plastic waste, starvation, and climate change. These topics receive way too much attention. That, I think, we can all agree that we are pretty much an expert on these topics. Am I right? So, today, I am giving a presentation from a slightly different perspective. My presentation focuses on infrastructure and how it is one of the most fundamental goals in SDGs. First of all, what is SDGs? Well, SDGs is an abbreviation for Sustainable Development Goal adopted at 2015 UN Summit by the member of United Nations. It is set to be achieved in 15 years from 2016 to 2030. SDGs consists of 70 major goals and 169 specific targets. However, the 17 major goals that we see in general are so vague that the only most commonly heard issue are addressed to us. So, as I said earlier, why the infrastructure development, which I believe to be the most important, should receive so much more limelight. And here's why. According to the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism, when the social facilities are installed, flow and stock effect can be expected. Flow effect is the effect that public investment has on economy as a whole in short term. Flow effect has a direct effect on the creation of economic activities from production, consumption, and employment. On the other hand, stock effect is the effect that can be obtained continuously or medium and long term, immediately or after the public investment has been installed. Stock effect has three outcomes. First, safety and security, improvement in earthquake resistance, and reduced risk of flood damage. Second is quality of life, improvement in living environment and amenities. Third is productivity. Reduce in travel time means increase in the productivity of the social base. While the flow effect has an immediate effect, stock effect is slower, but the effects are much greater. That's been explained. I hope you judges and audience understood what the flow and stock effects are. But right now, you might have no idea how important these effects are. So, by looking at which SDG goals corresponds with the effect, you can really see its importance. Take a look at this. 6 out of 17 goals corresponds with the effect. Growth of economy and increase in productivity from both flow and stock effect relates to 8th and 9th goals. Improvement in safety and security and quality of life relates to 6th, 3rd, and 11th goals. It is spectacular to have a single factor to have a huge influence on other SDG goals. But, this is a huge but, are every single aspect of infrastructure really beneficial? Well, the answer is no. SDGs promotes development and at the same time want the development to be environmental friendly and sustainable. This was not always the case for infrastructure development. Infrastructure is part of the problem because there's a problem with it. To understand the problem of infrastructure, I will explain why infrastructure was recognized as a problem. In the US, large scale of infrastructure development was undertaken in 1920s. But by 1980s, the stagnation of infrastructure became seen, and this was due to the cutback in the budget in 1960 and 1970s. And by 1980s again, the current situation of deteriorating infrastructure was exposed by the publication of America in Ruins by Pat Chott and Susan Walter. This book was also translated into Japanese, and it became a symbolic term for the United States in 1980s. Widespread of the situation have noted other countries that just as the US has not been able to adequately maintain and update its infrastructure, infrastructure development has to be linked with sustainable growth. We cannot expect infrastructure development to perform at its best all the time and for the other SDG goals. Infrastructure development has become indispensable in our life to live and reside and so many other more that we forgot its importance. To get the most out of infrastructure development, we must understand both the merit and demerit. Lastly, throughout my presentation, I have explained why I believe infrastructure is the most important factor in the SDGs, from flow and stock effect to the recognition of infrastructure as a problem. I sincerely appreciate your attention today, and I hope I have caught your attention and probably did not bore you throughout the presentation. Thank you for listening.